Well, for more on China's nuclear industry, we're joined now by Thomas Gehl. He's a partner at Lehman, Lee and Shu, focusing on energy, the environmental and natural resources. It's good to have you in the program, sir.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Well, last month, China announced the goal to cut its carbon footprint to net zero in 40 years. How does nuclear energy fit into this vision?
Well, I think that the offset of fossil fuels with nuclear energy is a great leap towards that goal. Nuclear energy has basically zero of the greenhouse gas emissions that are associated predominantly with coal, where coal is 69% of the energy used fuel in China at this point in time. Nuclear is about 8%, so they intend on kind of reversing those roles.
But globally, we seem to be seeing a slowdown in nuclear energy production. What's the appetite for it in China?
Well, I think that the realization that it's going to be hard to meet the energy needs of China, which is due to per capita a double by 2050, that they need to have a reliable energy generation source, and that though they have invested heavily in renewable resources, particularly solar and wind, that the ability to meet those goals just aren't seen to be there. I think also China has worked very hard to stress on the safety features associated with their design and building of the facilities. And I think that is a major step forward in how to do safe nuclear energy, as well as they've invested a lot of R&D into how to process the spent materials and make oxides or other ways of safely handling the spent nuclear material.
You mentioned solar and wind. Are those more attractive than nuclear energy at this stage?
Right now, they're very attractive, particularly in the last couple of years because of China's investment in the R&D. The cost of gigawatt of energy produced by solar and wind has come down dramatically. The problem is the amount that they can use for generation and also the location of the particularly wind plants. Last year, China generated almost 21% of their energy need from renewables, but because of the distance it had to travel over the grid, less than 9% of the usable energy actually reached the consumers.
So you mentioned location challenges. What other big obstacles do you see in China's transition to renewable energy? Because we really still see coal plants, new ones, being built around the country.
Yeah, unfortunately, coal plants are going up through 2030. China right now has 4 times the coal generation that the United States has. And within the next few years, China anticipates to add another 250 amount of coal generation, which is more than all of the U.S. right now. So hopefully that can turn around. But the renewables are, as I said, coming down in price. They're also increasing their efficiency. So I think as we spread particularly solar to the different areas of China, and specifically if we can bring it in closer to where the industrial and consumers are located, then we don't have that great loss in transmission. Again, solar is something that can be utilized very readily close to the user. We can have it on every rooftop. We can have it in many different areas. They're generating a lot of new materials that will incorporate it to make building finishes that could be photovoltaic. So there's a lot of hope in those particular areas as well.